Guys, when something's on my mind, I don't care how I look, I'm going to pick up this camera and I'm going to talk to you. Because how I look is not the concern for what I have to say. We are so focused on how we look, putting on the makeup, putting on the nice dresses, putting on the nice outfits to project fakeness to the world. I put on makeup, I put on clothes, I put on jewelry. That's not fake. That's just me putting it on. But I don't have to do it for every video. On this video, I want to talk some more about my mom and how I should have known long before 2020 what she was doing. Back in 1984, 1985, I had my son in October of 1983. And me and my husband, we moved to an apartment complex maybe in close to 1985, because my son was only about a year old. And my mom worked very close to our apartment complex. And she would get off of work between 11 and 11:30 at night. And my mom would come over to our apartment every night when she got off of work. I told my mom so many times, Mom, please don't come over here every night. My husband has to get up and go to work in the morning. I got to get up and go to work in the morning. I wasn't a morning person because she was stealing my sleep. She was robbing my rest with her witchcraft. My husband had to be at work at 6 o'clock in the morning. But yet and still, she brought her tail to our apartment every night. When I wouldn't open the door, she would go to the window. Wake us up. I would tell her, Mom, please stop. She didn't care. What mom goes to your window and knock at your window until you get up and open that door for her? I would tell her, Mom, I am a married woman. We could be in here having sex. She didn't care. She still come. She used to piss me off so bad that sometimes when she would have her tail outside knocking on my window, we lived at the very back of the complex. And it was a wooded area in the back, that I would say, I hope she bring her tail back here one night in the dark and somebody grab her and do something to her when she back here all at the window. Yeah, I thought like that because I got sick of it. I was sick of it. Why do you do this night after night, night after night? When I've asked you, Mom, please don't come out here. And she came anyway. My husband would say, what is wrong with your mom? What is wrong? She know I have to get up and go to work. She didn't care. I guess she was hoping that we would be too tired to get up and go to work, especially me. That's what she wanted for me. I know that's what she wanted for me. She was hoping. She was hoping that I would lose my job. Well, let me tell you something. She knew what she was doing. She knew what she was doing. I look back now and she had to gain access to my house to bring whatever she was bringing in that house in. And she did it over and over and over and over and over and over until she separated us. We were no longer together. It was that apartment that me and my husband separated. It was that apartment that I went into the hospital for the first time for depression. It was that apartment that I basically became homeless for the second time in my life. Because the first time I became homeless was when she put me out of her apartment in January, 1 month before my 17th birthday. My mom never wanted me to have a place to live. My mom never wanted me to have anything. My mom and my sister used to come over to an apartment that I had. And they would knock and kick on my door every Saturday morning when I wouldn't let them in until I opened that door and let them in. They were trying to cause me to lose that apartment. They came in. She was putting something in that apartment too until I gave that apartment up and moved to the county. My sister used to steal from me out of that apartment. Oh, they have done a number on me throughout the years until I got the hell away from both of them. Even when I moved from St. Louis to Georgia, I can remember my mom wanting to come one time, and I says, Mom, now it's not a good time. I was living in a hotel. I had lost my apartment there. I'm coming anyway. And she came. And I was so upset. I started to leave her ass at the airport. How you gonna come when somebody tell you it's not a good time? But you come anyway. You forcefully, demonic demon, came anyway. She came to see how I was living because I was living in a hotel. She left. And shortly thereafter, I was asked to move out of that place because my son was acting so crazy. I had taken him back to his dad. And when I came back, I had a notice that I had to move. It wasn't enough for her that I lost my apartment and that I was living in a hotel. She came to make sure I wouldn't be living there either. You know, I never put two and two together. I never put two and two together. But after all of these years, I'm seeing just how much this woman wanted me homeless. I'm saying just how much she wanted me homeless. Because when she finally got me there, and I had been there for years, she never took the pressure off. When I was staying with my roommate while I was waiting for my disability, and she kept calling, asking about that disability hearing, relentlessly, aggressively. She knew that if she got that information in her hands, I would be homeless forever, because she was trying to block my disability. What other reason would she have for continuously asking me about my hearing? Telling me she needed that information. She called me and bullied me, telling me, look, I need to know the exact date and time of that hearing. And I thank God and the Holy Spirit every time I think about it, that I told her absolutely nothing. Because had I given her that information like she was trying to bully me to give it to her, I wouldn't be laying in my nice, comfortable, beautiful apartment in my king-size bed talking to you all about her relentless bullying of me to get my information. My mom, all throughout my life, has asked me about my private information. I have told her to stop. I have told her that's none of her business. And she would come right on, acting like I hadn't told her nothing. She'd come right on until she would wear me down. And I would tell her. When I moved here to Las Vegas and I hadn't talked to her for about 2 or 3 months, when I finally called her and told her where I was, well, what made you do that? And right away, well, I need an address. I said, I'm at a shelter. Well, I still need an address. She always needed my address. You wasn't writing me no letters. You weren't sending me anything. Why did you need my address? She needed my address to block that address, to put me back out in the street again. In my 63 years, if I told you all how many times I have moved, how many times I have been homeless, how many addresses I have had in my 63 years, you guys wouldn't believe me. Y'all would be like, what? And for the most part, I've always had a decent job. I worked for the state of Missouri for 10 years before I left St. Louis. I moved to Atlanta, got a job right away with the American Red Cross. Left the American Red Cross and went to Emory University I've had good jobs, guys. I've worked on the city level, the state level, and the federal level. I've had good jobs. There was no reason for me to be going through the hell that I was going through. Being homeless, here or there. I thank God that when my son was with me and I was homeless, that I never had to stay in a shelter with him. I thank God that I took him back to his dad and he didn't have to go through that hell with me. Because I tell you, when I first moved to Texas, my second day in Texas, I was in one of the worst homeless shelters there were. Whew. A friend of mine told me that when she first moved to Texas and she got information to go to that shelter, she said when she arrived there, she thought she was in hell. I know what she meant. And I didn't stay at that shelter just one time. I stayed at that shelter several times. Several times. I can remember I called my mom one time when I lived in Texas after I lost my apartment. After she made sure I lost my apartment. Because she called me one time asking me where was I at. As if she had seen me in St. Louis. I mean, just called me crazy. Where you at? Where you at? I got the phone. Like, why is this woman calling me, asking me where I'm at? And I'm telling her I'm at home. No, where you at? I'm at home. She was calling to see had I lost my apartment. And I hadn't at that time. And when I did, and I called her and told her I just lost my place and I don't know what I'm going to do. And she says, okay, well, let me know. Let you know? What am I letting you know? When I think about it, yeah, I had just let her know. I was homeless again. She didn't call me for 3 whole weeks, guys. I just wanted to see how long it was going to be for her to call me. Me, her child, to check on me, to see if I was okay. She never made the phone call. After 3 weeks, I finally called her. You think she asked me if I was okay? Where you at? No, she wasn't concerned about that because she knows she had accomplished what she set out to accomplish as usual. I called her to ask for some money, and she wasn't at home. And I left a message with my stepfather to tell her that I needed some money because I didn't have anything to eat. And I was staying with some people. They didn't have anything to eat. We went to a food pantry, and they gave them a box. But they wouldn't give me a box. Although I was living with them, I couldn't get a box of food. And I called my mom to see if she could send me some money. And you know what I got? I got an email that was so demonic that told me don't be calling her, asking her for nothing. I ain't got no money. I ain't got no money to give you no food. And you know what, guys? The email was so long. But those first couple of lines of that email, I read and I wouldn't read no more. Because you have to get to the point where you don't allow demonic stuff to get into your spirit. Because that can tear you down. It can tear you down. And I had got to the point that when people would send me demonic mess, if I read the first couple of lines and it was going soft, I would delete it out. I wouldn't allow that stuff to get in my spirit because I knew my situation was going to change soon. I just put out a video just last night saying that very thing to a woman who has decided to give up because she knows it's been 20 years and she says her situation ain't gonna change and she wish people would stop telling her to hang in there. Honey, if you are looking at this video and you looked at the one that I told you to look at, that I did, I am not going to stop telling you to hang in there. I'm going to tell you to tell yourself this situation is going to change. This situation has to change. This situation cannot stay the same. You got to tell yourself that, honey. And to everybody out there, you got to tell yourself that. You got to tell yourself that. I don't care how it looks. You know, our Bible tells us to walk by faith, not by sight. Because if we continue to look at what's going on around us, we will think it's not going to change. But it will change. I'm living proof. It will change. 40 years of witchcraft over my life, 40 plus years. It has changed, guys. It has changed. I'm just gonna let me just show you all a little of my apartment. I'm not showing you all things to brag. I am showing you all things because the Bible tells us our talents will make a way and bring us before great men. And when I say I'm talented, I am talented. You see that? I made that. You see this bar cart? I made that. You see those things? I made that. You see the stuff up on my wall? I made that. You see my apartment? How she never wanted me to have anything? But I have. I got stuff, y'all. I'm so talented. I made that. I made that. I made those two things. I made that. I made this sign. I made these things. These things were jars that I bought taco sauce in. These are some Dollar Tree glasses that I used my Cricut machine to put that on. This is my latest table scape. I have another YouTube channel, guys. That on the wall. I made that. This right here is a table scape. I made that. I made that. Let me tell you something. Do not let your situation define you and tell you what's not going to happen, what's not going to change. I'm here to tell you, yes, it will. And it'll change so You won't believe it yourself. Guys, before I moved her to Las Vegas, before I was in that shelter, all of this stuff that I just showed you I made, I didn't know I could do. It was during COVID. And me being in that shelter, losing my mind, because I have to have something to do. When I got my stimulus check, I started ordering stuff because I was on YouTube looking at other people do stuff on YouTube. I didn't have no income. And I said, you know what? I see these people making stuff. I can do stuff like that. I know I can because I've been creative all of my life. And I said, I know I can do something. And I can sell this stuff when I get out of here. I did sell some things while I was in there. I had someone, my counselor, she would take stuff out and sell it to her friends and different people. I haven't sold much. I've kept a lot. But you better believe I'm working on some things to sell. I am not giving up. My mama and that witchcraft mess has not defined me. So anybody out there, I don't care if you eating out of the gutter and you and the rats are fighting for food. I looked at this one video last night where this man said he spent 40 years being homeless and he was eating out of the trash cans. And he went to a trash can one day to get some food and this big rat came up, looked up. He says that I looked at that rat and said, oh, you can have it. Let me go somewhere else. I don't care if that was you. As long as you hold on to God's hand and you keep saying this situation has to turn around. And he didn't even want his situation to turn around. He said he thought folks like us was crazy for getting in a place and paying rent. I'm going to link that video. I was like, what? But this man, y'all got to hear his testimony. Oh, my God. And I'm telling you guys, that demon, that devil will have us convinced that things are never going to change. There are seniors out here that are on Medicare that don't even realize rides back and forth to the doctor are a part of their Medicare. If you didn't know that, you better call your whatever health insurance you're going through and tell them you need to know what company you need to call to get a ride back and forth to your doctor's appointments. I didn't know that. I used to be on the bus until I went to the welfare office one day and told them, look, I got some specialists I need to go to. I have been trying to get to one specialist, and every time I tried to get to that specialist, the buses would be late, and I just finally just canceled it. And I went to the welfare office. I said, there has to be some way I can get to these specialists. And she gave me a number. And I called. And they were trying to set me up on our buses here, where the buses would come pick me up, take me to my doctor's appointment, and come pick me up from the doctor's appointment and bring me back. It was $3 each way. Told me I had to send it in. I had another number I called. Then I called my health insurance and found out I had medical rides for free through Lyft or Uber. When I gotta go to the doctor now, I just call my medical insurance, my medical rides, and schedule it. They pick me up right at my door and bring me back to my door. The woman that I was looking at last night, I don't think she knows this, but she does now. There are so many things that we don't know because our minds are so jumbled up, trying to survive. Trying to survive. This month, I lost $500 some of my income because I had to pay Part B Medicare. And they took it all out at one time. I didn't even know how I was going to buy grocery this month. I had decided I was going over to that welfare office and I was going to tell them all. I was going to tell them, y'all created this mess. I need emergency stamps. And the Holy Spirit said, don't go. Don't go over there. Don't worry about it. I got you. And I'm telling y'all that I'm gonna link the video. Cause I'm telling y'all, we got 2 food drops on the same day in this building. And by the time I got through, I didn't have enough. The second food drop that came along, I had so much from the first one, I had nowhere to put stuff for the second one. So I couldn't even get a lot more. I only got what I know that I could put in my refrigerator and that I would use. That's my Father. After all the hell that I've been through, that's the God that I serve. It has just been something in me that I have never just decided this is it. And I'm telling y'all guys, I was close. I was close. I was in the mental ward in one of the hospitals in Dallas when God came to me 3 nights in a dream and told me to move to Las Vegas. I'm going to have to share that story with y'all because y'all ain't going to believe it. But I just want to encourage somebody. I don't care how much somebody has put witchcraft over you. I don't care what you're going through and you think it's not going to change. We walk by faith, not by sight. It will change. You guys, please subscribe to this channel. Please share my videos. Share my videos with somebody who's going through hell, who don't think their situation is going to change. Like my videos. If I can't do nothing but just reach one person to let them know it's not what it looks like. It's not what it looks like. Hang in there. God got you. And I'm going to tell you something. Remove yourself from toxic people. Remove yourself from demonic people. Remove yourself from anybody who is asking you about all of your personal information. Stop telling that person your information. Get the hell away from that person. Don't accept that person's phone call. Don't tell that person nothing. Because that very person might be the one that's causing all kind of hell in your life. Thank you guys for looking and listening to this video. And you be blessed. I am. And I have peace, guys. Bye.